Okay, here's Mega here. So, in California, in the state of California where I live, and this car is registered, the Black Widow Galant VR4, we have to do a smog inspection every 2 years biannually. And what that consists of is a visual inspection of the emissions components and a tailpipe sniffer test. Also, there's like an OBD2 check, but this car is a 91. It doesn't have OBD2, so they're not gonna check it. So they do a couple other things. I think they one of the visual things is like they have to check the evap canister. Oh, I got that. That's in there. Yep. I hope I hooked it up properly. I know I had the whole car apart, so that's what I'm worried about. Like, it's not running the way, because when I bought this car, it had passed smog, so the previous owner smogged it before he sold it. So a couple things that I'm doing to prepare for it is I've been looking for exhaust leaks. So you saw that. You can check that video out. I didn't really smell any today, so that's a good thing. I really only smell it when it's cold too, so I'm thinking it's something that's a little bit loose and then it's expanding with the heat and then it kind of goes away, you know. But I don't like it. It irks me out. One thing I have to do is I have to install this this stock looking air can back in. So and I'm pretty sure they're not gonna like that open element filter right there. That's a K&N filter. Actually, the 1G Eclipse has a pretty good filter already. But anyway, yeah, it's this big old can thing. I think basically what they did is they cut the back part here, so it's open all the way, and then that's how you can get the most flow. So we'll see. We'll just cut that out. But we'll put that back in, so it'll look super stealthy. Also, this car has the battery relocated. That's another iffy thing. I don't know. I don't think they'll know like what's going on because they probably don't see too many Galants, maybe, or a Galant VR4. Yeah, but other than that, I have to change this. This is my little ghetto catch can here. It's basically a fuel filter. And it catches all the oil, but I don't seem to be getting much blow by, so that's a good thing. I'm going to replace it with this hose here, and then after I'm going to put that back in. So, and I just checked the ignition timing. So ignition timing was a little bit retarded. It was at 3 before top dead center, so I moved it up to 5 before top dead center where it's supposed to be. That's important. So your NOx emissions. If you have a advanced timing, it creates more NOx and maybe more hydrocarbons. I don't know, but if it's too retarded, then the car won't run properly. You know, it doesn't idle nicely and all that stuff. So I had a little bit retarded, so I went ahead and advanced it a little bit by use of the crank angle sensor here. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Also, another thing they'll be checking is the gas cap. The gas cap's behind the door, but yeah, they're gonna test that to see if it works. I'm pretty sure it works. I hear a little whoosh of air come out when I open it. And one thing I may do is change the oil too. Yeah, since I'll be working on the air filter, since I have to swap the can out, I think I'm going to go. I'm gonna go clean this air filter. It looks kind of dirty. When it's open like this, I notice even on the second gen Eclipse, it gets dirty super fast, and that looks pretty dirty already. It's supposed to be a red color, you know, because the oil is red, and yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and then take that out, clean it, and then we'll put that in when we're done, so it'll look stocky. I don't really know what's holding this up right now. There must be some kind of bracket holding it. Unless it's just resting somewhere. Oh, I know what's holding it up. The blow-off valve hose is holding it up. So yeah. And that's pretty much it. And interesting tidbit about all-wheel drive DSMs. They don't do the in California we have a treadmill test or a dyno test. And what the dyno test does is it puts a load on the engine, and then it puts a load on the engine, but they can only do a two-wheel drive test because they don't want, you know, they don't want shops to shell out money for the extra to do the extra axle. So so that's an interesting tidbit. So when this car gets does the sniffer test, the tailpipe test, it's gonna be no dyno. It's just gonna be like just sitting there in neutral, and then they're just gonna rev the engine and then sniff whatever comes out of the tailpipe. So hopefully it passes that. I heard it's easier to pass that because, you know, these cars don't really put out a lot of pollutants when they're not under load. So brilliant, California, right? Brilliant. If you guys don't know, California is one of the most smog EPA you know, restricted states in the United States of America and the world. Okay, I don't know, maybe in Europe or Germany there might be some stricter emissions. Every country's got some weird tests, you know, and all the cars got to pass them somehow. But since California is the strictest, if you can get your car, if you're a car manufacturer and you can get your car to pass the California smog test, then you can probably sell your car anywhere in the world. So that's why California is the benchmark for, you know, smog. And you know, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing if you're want to mod cars like me, you know. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't think there should even be a visual inspection. It's whatever comes out of the tailpipe should be good, you know. Or nowadays, actually, OBD2, with OBD2, all they have to do is stick the diagnostic thing to the smog machine, and it reads it, and the car says like, hey, everything checks out okay, I'm good to go, and that's it. So they don't even do the sniffer test anymore because, like, pretty much the car is like a rolling smog check station already. that's how they are. And plus we got like hybrids and all that stuff now, so it's really weird. So yeah. Well, another thing I might do is I'm going to change change the oil on the car before I do the smog check also. I got a filter in the back. I think that's why I have the filter back there. It's because I still need to do some oil change on this. I never got around to it after I put the engine back together. So there's probably some dirty oil circulating in there with a bunch of gasket goop all over it, and so the filter is probably pretty plugged up right now. So we're gonna go ahead and change the oil when I get to 151,000. Put like an extra 1,000 on it. Yeah, so we're at 840, so I gotta drive it like 160 more miles. So drive. So yeah, that is my little smog check vlog. So what I will be doing is today is I'm just going to change this hose with this one, and I did the timing check and then did exhaust leak check. I will check, I still had to check the bottom of the car for exhaust leaks. There's an exhaust leak somewhere. I did notice all the gaskets on this car are like, they're getting old, so maybe somewhere along the line in the exhaust system there's a bad gasket and I had to change it. So we're gonna have to get this up on a ramp or something and then check underneath the car. But I know I changed the one for the downpipe to the turbo, but maybe the bolt got loose or something, you know. So we'll go check that, and then that's pretty much it. I don't really see any other issues with it passing smog. I just oh, actually I disconnected the battery when we did the engine. I disconnected the battery like a year ago or something, but I haven't really driven the car, so that's another reason I said like, oh, I'm not going to check the smog until 151,000 miles, because I want to get some more miles on this car, so it can learn. You're not supposed to disconnect the battery and then connect it again and then go for a smog check, because you'll fail. For the older cars, I'm not sure, not so much. But the newer cars have all these things called monitors that you have to set, you know, by doing specific driving conditions. They can't really check that on this. At least I don't. I'm not sure if this has monitors. That's a good question. But anyway, I had a hell of a time passing smog because I couldn't get my Eclipse to pass some of the some of the monitors, is because there's just some specific stuff that you have to do, and you have to keep on driving the car, and it's just a waste of gas. So I wound up driving the Eclipse for a long time, for a while, to get it to pass. But I had a little checker thing so I can check it. So that's a good thing. All right, so yeah, so that is the plan. And then you know, this will be a new little vlog series. Can the Black Widow Galant VR4 pass the smog check? You know, I don't want to do some kind of shady smog too. You know, I want to get it to pass. You know, legit, or like, you know, nothing questionable. Now, something questionable would probably be the intake, the intercooler pipes. But actually, intercooler is a legit modification you can do on a turbo car. Yeah, so these are not stock piping. These are all hard pipes. And that's a good thing and it's a bad thing because it's not stock. But they're black, they look stock. This intake looks stock. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to pass it with this intake system, but I'm gonna put the can over it so it looks stock. It looks pretty good to me, man. Stock. To tell you the truth, the stock system is all these rubber boots, kind of like rubber hoses and stuff, and they honestly, I feel that this is better than the stock stuff, just because it has a less chance of it leaking, you know. With hard pipes, there's less chance of it leaking because you got a better seal, and the rubber doesn't harden over time and crack, you know. I mean, unless you're talking about the couplers, you know. But this is a very nice intake system. I have to give it that. All right, here's the make up.